Only doers allowed.
Welcome to the third episode of Get Shit Done with Georgie Live. Today we have Airis Johnson, the founder and owner of ATC Spice Blends, which is Airis the Chef Spice Blends. Last year, 2016, she was a speaker at the very, very first Get Shit Done Summit. We've connected a lot along the way at different events that she's participated in, and we've just stayed in touch. And today we're gonna have her tell us, how she's been getting shit done and who she is. So I'll take it over, Airis. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, well, thank you for having me.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm Airis. I go by Airis the Chef. Uh, I'm a chef. I wear many hats. I basically do everything a chef could do, almost everything a chef could do besides work at a restaurant. And I also have my own company, Airis the Chef LLC, where I sell spice blends and a couple of other food products, spicy pickles, candy pecans, and I'm building every day more and more products. Yeah.
Nice. So how did you get into food? There's so many different paths anyone's life could go on. But what made food your passion and your calling?
So I got into food. I was in college. I majored in marketing, undergraduate school, living on campus. Campus food wasn't the best. And so I started cooking in my dorm room. We had two hot plates. And yeah, started cooking, feeding my friends. They really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the act of cooking. I enjoyed the feeling I got from like feeding people and getting instant gratification. And so I decided after I graduated from college, I wanted to move to New York and go to culinary school and learn how, chefs and restaurants did it.
Nice, nice, nice. So, since the Get Shit Done Summit last year, that was about almost a year now. It was last year in November. What have you
Yes.
been doing? Like, what have, you told your story then, so like, what have you been doing since then? Like, what, new accomplishments have you achieved? And just like, how's the Iris story happening, playing out so far?
So since the conference, a lot has changed. I've increased my client base as far as private chef work goes.
Congrats.
Thank you, thank you. At that time, I still had like one foot in the door with still working for someone else. So I've since left that situation. I was doing a freelance job for a meal prep company, and so I've since left that situation. And so now, since the Get Shit Done summit, I've been 100% on my own, 100% entrepreneur, no freelance jobs for other companies, and so yeah, and so it's been good. And since I've done that, and since I let go of that, like everything has just gotten like 10, 20 times better. So
Nice, nice. It's always good
yes.
to hear, achieving success and, getting shit done. And, that's really good. Congratulations on that.
Th- Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
at the summit, was there anyone that you met in particular or any connections that came out of the summit that, led to anything beneficial happening afterwards?
I made a couple of connections. I made a connection with one of the other panelists, Chris Shaw,
Mm-hmm.
and we were going to work together to like help build my website up and possibly do some food jobs and food events together. But I think the timing wasn't right. It was just a little bit too soon. And so that never panned out, but it's still an option. And then I also did one event with another one of the panelists, DK Smith. He
Nice.
was on the finance panel. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so I did an event with him. Yeah, and we've been keeping in contact. Yes.
Nice, nice. And like, we've talked a little bit about the summit, a little bit about your background, but how do you define get shit done? Like, how do you know, take me through a day in the life of Airis the chef. Like, what do you do from when you wake up to when you go to bed, and like that keeps that productivity high and just keeps your goal list accomplished and your task looks done.
Well, it looks a lot of different ways. Like when I wake up in the morning, I wake up like anytime from like 5 a.m. to like at a late time would be like 6:30 a.m.
That's late.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my late time. Like the first thing I'll usually do is like update my social media. So like if I did a dinner party like the night before, I make sure at the dinner party I take lots of pictures so I could have some photos for my social media the next day. So that'll be like number one. And then I'll try to task out like other things that I have to do for the day. So like the month of August, I didn't do much cooking. It was a really slow month. So I focused the month of August on doing organizational work for my spice company. So I'll wake up, still update my social media, and then maybe get on the computer and see how I could do maybe a sale for my spice blends or update recipes. I'm actually doing a rebranding for my spices and my other products coming up soon. So I've been doing a lot of work on that, on the rebranding, so I could launch probably in October, a relaunch in October. And yeah, it just depends on what I have happening. Like last couple of days, I had a dinner party to prepare for. So that involved me waking up. I already had a menu written out. And so I had to make like a lot of grocery store runs and then do a lot of prep in between the grocery store runs and then actually show up for the dinner party and cook and serve. And so, yeah, so my days are varied, but I'm constantly getting shit done. That's for sure.
Nice. Do you use any productivity tools or like apps or, you know, websites or notebook? Like, do you use anything to kind of like manage your time or like increase your productivity?
I'm old school, so when you say like a notebook, like this is one of my notebooks right here.
Girl.
And like, yeah, I just write stuff down. I write down my recipes, my menus, my plans. I got about like 5 million notebooks like this with just all my thoughts, ideas, plans, scheduling for the day, like old school with a pen and paper. So yeah, no apps.
Same
No
here.
apps.
Like, I try to use the apps. You know, people would assume that I'm more like techie.
Right. Yeah, that's shocking.
I have like at least been through what 4 or 5 notebooks this year alone.
Yeah.
And actually I'm like a 10 notebook. So the fact I used to have the small notebooks. This is a marble like school notebook because books weren't easy enough.
Right. Yeah, like I'm sad I'm getting ready to be through all the pages of the one I just held up. So that's cool. I have a notebook sister.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do use is my calendar though, my Google Calendar, because with that, like I'll completely forget like my entire life if it's not in a calendar.
Trust me.
So
I've forgotten phone calls and
yes,
events. I'm like, oh snap, it's in 15 minutes. Like
right. Like even the dinner party that I did on not yesterday, day before yesterday, I thought it was supposed to happen on Wednesday. Wow. And so yeah, if it wasn't for my client's assistant texting me on Monday, like, hey, here are the details for tomorrow's dinner party, like I would have been completely screwed. And even then I was still kind of screwed because it was a scramble. So, and that was in my calendar.
I try to put like, you know, a day before notification and like a 15 minute. And you know what's the worst? When you get the 15-minute notification, like, okay, I'm about to, I know I have a meeting in 15 minutes. And then you forget. One little thing. You're like, oh, I'm just going to, you know, put my lunch in the microwave. And then it's like 15 minutes late for the meeting.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm gonna have to start doing like up the day before reminders and stuff. But that was the first for that one. Like forgetting that I had a dinner party with the notification in my phone, like that was crazy. So yeah, maybe I should look into some other apps to help me out. Yeah.
So what would you recommend for people that are, let's say, somebody that's right now maybe in college, because you took a completely different route, marketing is inside of your job right now, but a lot of people
definitely
I have to stick with what I'm doing in college. Like what recommendations or advice would you give to somebody that's in college that doesn't really know what they want to do? They might have a major, but they're not really sure what next steps to take to like kind of get shit done while they're in school.
I would say if you're in college and you're not really sure and you already picked a major and maybe it's like your second year, sophomore year, and you're still not sure if you like it, like try to do an internship in the field that you're in so you get some hands-on experience and so you can make a concrete decision like at that point, like do I want to change, do I want to stay, do I want to go? And then other than that, just think about like what your interests are. If I had it to do all over again, I would still go to college and still graduate and get my degree because now, you know, I don't have a marketing job per se, but I use everything that I learned like in marketing and being in a college of business. Now I apply all of those things to my own business. So I went from thinking I wanted to be, you know, be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And I mean, now I'm a CEO of my own company. It's not Fortune 500 yet, but I'm still, you know, implementing like all of those business skills. So, you know, it's kind of like a two-edged sword. It's when you're young and you're in college, it's like you really don't know like what you want to do. Like some people become like adults 35 40 years old and they still don't know what they want to do. So if you have an idea while you're in college, like explore it thoroughly or try to just explore some different things and see what you like kind of take it light, don't take it so serious.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you know, as a chef, what is your personal favorite meal to either prepare or to eat? Like what is your favorite meal?
That is the worst question for all chefs.
I know everything.
The worst. I don't have a favorite meal that I like to prepare. I just like to cook. Yeah, in general. So I like to cook. I like to try different things. Like for instance, when I create menus for my clients, I try to put things on a menu that I maybe never cooked before, like just to challenge myself. You know, to add something new to my repertoire. So I like to try to cook new things I haven't cooked. I like to eat pretty much everything. I think I like to eat more than I like to cook, to be honest. But yeah, but I like to cook everything. You know, I like to cook my New Orleans staples, red beans and rice, gumbo, jambalaya, like those are foods from home. I like to make like Mexican food, Asian food, like I love it all.
Nice. Food lovers unite.
Yes. Yes.
I feel like definitely. Food is a source of happiness. Like I've recently started eating a bit healthier. And just like a lot of foods, what I realized is something that somebody told me about a year ago, is that your palate changes as you grow and as you age and as you try different things.
It does.
I hate but like, no, I'm not eating that, or like be like a little brat when I was a younger child. Now it's like, what is this beautiful flavor? Right.
Well, I tell you, the trick to that is that like children, their palates are pure. Like it's really like a blank canvas. And so a lot of foods for little kids taste much different to them than they do to adults, because as adults, like we older, like maybe, you know, drinking alcohol, wine or whatever, like all of those things, like they dull your taste buds. Like people who smoke cigarettes, their taste buds get dulled. So things, a lima bean would taste different to me and you than it would to like one of your kids. So maybe like if you're feeding children and they like, oh, like I don't like that, you know, still be the boss and be like, you're going to eat what I tell you to eat. But also take into consideration that it might really taste like super nasty to them because their palates are so pure and so clean. So like something like this sweet, sour, salty sections of their tongue are like super acute. So that explains why things you didn't like as a kid, like you probably really love now, because it probably tastes just completely different.
Yep, I remember the first time I ate blueberries, I was like, what is this disgusting thing? I think I was maybe like 10, like 10
Yeah.
and I'm like, what is this thing that my mom brought home? She's trying to kill us all. This horrid food. And now it's like, I need blueberries. I love blueberries.
Yeah. When I remember when I was younger, my mom used to drink like green drinks with like spirulina and other green stuff. And like I was younger and I was like, my mama is losing her mind. Like she's drinking this green stuff and she is losing it. Absolutely losing it. And now I just realized she was just like ahead of her time. Yeah. With the health phase craze and stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Is there like a certain type of like cooking style, like health style that you tend to do? Is it like more on the healthy end, or is it just, you know, food that you love and like food that makes you happy?
It's food that I love and food that makes me happy, but I just make a conscious, I call it like conscious cooking. I make a conscious decision when I'm cooking for other people, like you will eat a vegetable. So like, for instance, I barbecued for a friend of mine, actually, for TK, she was actually on a panel. Yeah. So for her Bonfire Radio for that audio fest, so I barbecue on the roof every year. And every year I serve like salads. So this year I did like hamburgers and grilled chicken sandwiches. And I'm like, okay, I'm giving them this white bread. So I'm not going to give them more starch. Like I usually make potato salad. So I'm like, I'm not making that. So I made kale salad with chickpeas and tomatoes and cucumbers. And I made a nice vinaigrette. And I mean, I had like grown men thugged out, like out there eating salad on the roof. So yeah, so I definitely make conscious choices with my cooking. Like if you check out my Instagram, like you'll see like I make a lot of salads and vegetables and fruit and, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. Excuse me. Now go ahead.
No, I was saying nice. Yeah, you had something?
Yeah. Oh no, I was saying, you know, I still like to make things that people like to eat, but sometimes I'll do a healthier twist. Like I'm doing a luncheon for a company next week, and I'm making jambalaya, but instead of using white rice, I'm going to use farro. That's one, you know, a healthy grain instead of white rice. So, you know, still get the flavors, big flavors, nice flavors, but, you know, I don't want to be out here responsible for killing people with with my food. Yeah.
You've probably seen these like on Facebook and social media where people are like trying to, like the cauliflower fried chicken, like, you know, what do you think? Like I saw one the other day. I was like, whoa, does it really, like, am I not gonna know that it's cauliflower just, you know, in flour and fried, or
right? No, you definitely will. I mean, I think that stuff is bullshit. People like it, but I mean, it's bullshit. If you want to eat a piece of fried chicken, eat a piece of fried chicken. But like, eat a piece of fried chicken with a salad or like some steamed vegetables or something on the side, instead of like fried chicken on top of fried chicken with French fries and more fried chicken. So and then don't eat it every day. But like, you know, if you must fry some cauliflower, do it. But I mean, don't fry cauliflower in the spirit of like, oh, I'm eating fried chicken, because that's a lie.
It's a lie, guys.
That's a lie. Yeah.
From Airis the chef, it's a lie.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, so you know, the Get Shit Done Summit is coming back up in a couple months. We have it on November 4th.
It's exciting.
We'd love to have you again there, maybe sampling some of your spices in the, you know, in the lunchtime area. We'll talk offline about that. But is there any advice or suggestions you want to leave with the audience as we wrap up to, you know, how they can get shit done in their personal life every day and for the future?
Oh, sure. Like, in order to get shit done in your life on a daily basis, you have to kind of cancel out the noise. The noise could be distractions like social media. The noise could be your best friend that calls you every day, 3 times a day. Like, you might need to cut it down to 1 time a day. So like, shut out the noise and focus. It doesn't have to be, you know, focus for a whole 24 hours, but at least focus long enough to actually get some shit done. So focus, cut out the noise, And yeah, and if you're not enjoying it, then don't do it.
You heard it right here. You gotta enjoy what you're doing, and you gotta focus and not dull out the noise. Thank you so much, Airis, for joining
Definitely.
us.
You're
And
welcome.
we look forward to connecting with you again. I'm gonna leave your information in the comment section below for people to find you. And thank you again so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
All righty.
All right.